So our special guest today is George V. Last Saturday, he and we got together after we were, meeting with the client and getting her pre-approved. He shared with me some very interesting things about, some marketing materials that him and his company can provide for us as real estate agents. And then he also shared some new inventory with builders that he has connections with. And I thought it was super valuable, and I obviously didn't want to keep it for myself. So I wanted him to come on here and just share all this amazing things that he has to offer to us. So like that we can, take advantage of it and also just, just help each other out, right? So I want to, you know, kind of pass the mic along to George. George, I know we know a little bit about you, but maybe you could tell us a little bit more about yourself and then, just dive right in wherever you want to start.
Absolutely. So I appreciate that. Again, my name is George Vukicevic with V&M Mortgage Group at Security National Mortgage. I've known Lucy since 2006. Kind of date myself how long we've been in the business. But Lucy has been somebody that has always been near and dear to my heart as she's continued to grow herself and her company. So we do mortgages here in town. I've been doing this for about 22 years. We have a team, we speak Spanish. Myself, my right-hand man was Antonio Furman, and then we have a loan partner, her name is Diana Reyna. And they all work with us here in our office locally. Our office is right on College Parkway. Alita actually went to our office, so she saw our office firsthand. So it's great if you guys want to do like a first-time home buyer workshop, if you're looking to do any type of seminar, educational training for you or any of your clients or your investors. Our office is open to any of that. So if you have somebody looking to do that, we can definitely host that if you would like. So some of the products and programs that we're discussing are really down payment assistance, right? Everybody's talking about the Hometown Hero program that's coming July 1st. So if you haven't caught my video that I posted on social media, you don't have to wait till July 1st. You can start promoting, you can get people on the contract now. As long as it close after July 1st, we should be good to go. Okay, so again, when you get bits and pieces and you don't hear everything, you kind of miss out on what the important things. So you're going to be seeing a lot of people that are waiting to put their contracts and show houses on July, as opposed to doing it now and take advantage of the fact that many realtors are not educated on this, and you can kind of get ahead of the market or get ahead of the rush, right? It's kind of like Black Friday, and you can go shopping now instead of waiting for Black Friday themselves. So I can imagine that July 1st is going to be filled with open houses and lots of people looking around. People are waiting to that day, when in fact you can get ahead of the rush and start getting people on the contract now. So one of the builders we work with many builders. We work with DR Horton Express Homes, we work with Adams Homes, Christopher Allen Homes. There's about 10 different builders we work here in town with, where if we're the preferred lender, they get the same closing cost incentives. So that being said, you bring us a client, we pre-approve the client, we pull their credit once, and we do what's called a soft pull, so it doesn't affect their credit. Does everybody know what a soft pull compared to a hard pull is? I see Jeanette saying yes. I see Marciel saying yes. So Jessica, we can't see you, and neither Brittany, but I'm hoping that you guys know the difference. The difference is they don't get bombarded and it doesn't affect their credit in a negative manner. We can issue a pre-approval letter, we can get them on the contract with a soft pull, and then once they're on the contract and they pass the home inspection and they pay for the appraisal, at that point we can do a hard pull if that's what they look, if that's what they want to move forward at that point. So it avoids having that hard check at the beginning. That being said, they turn their financials into once, and if they look, either one of those builders, they don't have to have their credit pulled again and again and again, because each one of those builders wants to make sure that they're pre-approved with a preferred lender. So let's say they go to Suncoast. Suncoast is not a preferred lender with 99% of these builders out there. So then that means, and Suncoast doesn't do a soft pull, they do a hard pull. So it means that they have to have their credit pulled again if they go into another builder. So we actually give you the inventory list, so save you the hassle of having to go and look through or contact each sales agent, because a lot of their properties, they don't have it on MLS. Like I'm looking at Christopher Allen's inventory sheet here, and probably half of them are not on MLS. They don't have to. Furthermore, we have a builder out in Lehigh, DSD Homes, which, by the way, they pay 5% commission for you agents, which is like twice as much as some of these other ones that you see at 2.5. And they pay 6% closing costs to buyers, and they don't even put one of their properties on MLS. They simply give us the list to us, and we share it to our realtor referral partners, which means that if you're working with a client, you already have an advantage because you have a list of inventory and a builder in Lehigh that nobody else has access to unless they're on our network of realtors that we work with. So it gives you that, something to separate yourselves from the other agents there that are out there showing properties, even though there's a lot of choices, not choices where they're going to pay you 6% closing costs for the buyer's agent and you as an agent 5% commission. And all the houses are at least 4 bedrooms plus a den, which is a really nice size home, especially for Lehigh. So looking at houses a little bit more affordable, Christopher Allen seems to really have the really dominate that market by providing the most affordable houses, in my opinion, that are a little bit nicer than some of these other I would say entry-level builders. And their pricing is very aggressive. They pay you 4% commission, right? And for certain properties, they'll pay up to $20,000. And what they call flex cash. So $15,000 can be used towards closing costs, and another $5,000 they can use to either additional buyer downs or lower the sales price. So we have a client right now who's going on the contract. They're buying a house out in Lehigh. It's the price right now is listed at $307,990, and they're taking off $5,000, right? So now it's $302,990, and on top of that, they're getting. Is that the house? Oh, that's the house. Perfect. And
Yes.
on top of that, they're getting $15,000 towards closing. So if you really think about what they're paying for this property, we take the 302 minus 15, they're really getting the house for $287. And to get a house, new construction, with those finishes that is ready this month, and you don't have to wait months and months, that is a no-brainer, in my opinion. So that being said, we can help these clients with this house. We can combine them with a Hometown Hero, or we have 4 other different down payment assistance programs that our company offers, which I think are, in some cases, better than the Hometown Hero, but it's whatever the client wants. Ultimately, we explain to them the pros and the cons for each one, and they make up their mind on which one of those programs they want to go with. So when you're talking about the Hometown Hero program, just be careful what you say about it, because if you're not familiar with how the program works, you don't want to, put your foot in your mouth and say something that can later on count against you, right? So this program, the Hometown Hero program, pays up to 5% of the purchase price. So even if this is all the way up to $35,000, that's great, but they don't get $35,000 if they're buying a $302,000 house, right? 5% of that is $15,000, which is great, but it's not $35,000, right? And if you look at this flyer, they keep emphasizing up to $35,000, and the only thing in their head is the $35,000. So you said it was $35,000. Why am I only getting 15? And they don't listen to any of that until they're signing the papers with us, and they're like, well, what do you mean? I'm not getting $35,000? No, you're getting up to 5%. So in order for somebody to get that much money, think about it. They have to buy like a $600,000 house, right? They get $30,000. Nobody's buying $600,000 house that needs down payment assistance. I'm just letting you know, I've yet to have any single person. The closest one was a client out in Naples, and they bought a $500,000 property, and they used that program. Well, they tried to qualify for the Hometown Hero, but they were not able to qualify because they were doctors and they made too much money. So we put them in our own down payment assistance program. They got the 5% towards their closing costs, and towards their down payment and closing costs. because our program doesn't have a restriction on how much money you make. So they're still able to do that, still able to buy the property, and put them in a better program because our program, that money we gave them, that 5%, is forgivable after 3 years. Do you guys know when they have to repay or how long the hometown hero is forgivable for, or is that never forgivable? Do you guys know?
Never,
Janet? Any idea?
never.
It's never forgivable. They always have to repay that back. So if it's $15,000, they're getting 10,000, 20,000, doesn't matter what the dollar amount is. They have to pay it back. And if rates they get today, I don't know, 7% interest rate, and next year rates drop to 5%, guess what? If they want to refinance that loan, they're gonna have to do what? They're gonna have to pay that money back. Not a good deal, because I guarantee you they're not gonna have that kind of equity between now and next year. Right? So again, something, it's not for you to discourage the customer, it's if they ask you that question, you have to be able to answer that question correctly. Otherwise, it just makes things complicated when it comes time to when they sit down actually doing the financing. So our program is forgivable after 3 years. And so that gives them a better chance to be able to refinance at that point and not have to pay any of that money back. So the hype is the hometown hero. Let's continue to educate buyers that they don't have to wait till July, they can buy now. Between getting the down payment assistance and getting closing costs, whether it's Christopher Allen Homes or any other builder in town that we work with, that can pretty much get these people into their houses with very little money out of pocket, if any. The last one we did, I think the client put $1,000 out of pocket, and that was with the Adams Homes, and then we did another one with Christopher Allen Homes. Does require $3,000 initial investment into the transaction, and they actually got some money back at closing because they didn't need to bring $3,000. They got about $1,500 back. So they're able to get into the house with $1,500 out of pocket, and the builder paid for closing costs, and then they used the down payment assistance program. Whether it's Hometown Hero or our own in-house down payment assistance program, it's something that we can definitely help your clients out with. So what are you guys doing to promote and provide awareness to the public about these programs? That's where you guys come into play. I think we did one for you. We did a flyer for you, Talia.
No, not well, I gave you the information. I haven't gotten the flyer yet.
We'll get that over to you. I think my assistant finished it last week, so I'll get that out to you today. It's been a little crazy. It's been a very crazy weekend. We actually had, quite a few new contracts coming over the weekend as people continue to take advantage of these down payment assistance programs, and we're getting people under contracts. So what is really moving around the market is in Lehigh, anything that's below 350, and Cape Coral, anything that's below 400,000. So we're seeing a lot of movement in that price point. Anything above that is sitting a little bit longer on the market. And if you have a client that you're working with where they're thinking, oh, I want to buy a $500,000 property, it's important that you have them talk to whoever the lender is and go over monthly payments with them, because many times people think, oh, I want to buy a $500,000 house or a $400,000 house, but they don't know what payment corresponds to that price point, right? So one of the things that we talk to when we do an application is we ask them, well, what is your budget? Oh, well, 400,000. No. What's your monthly budget? Like, what can you afford to pay monthly? Oh, $2,000. Well, $2,000 and $400,000 purchase, those two don't go together. Janet's smiling. You had a few of those, Jeanette? Yeah.
I've heard of it. I see people out there wanting big houses and then but can't afford it. So it's like, with these prices these days, yeah, that's not happening. I have one that he thinks that he can get a house for what was it? $165 square foot. But yeah, I don't know what I don't know.
More and more challenging, So as we look at these this builder in Minneapolis, so I priced out a house at $185,000 with taxes and insurance. Their payment will be around $1,800. which is unheard of. Those are like COVID day pricing, right? And that's something where that's like a 2-bedroom, 2-bath home. And there's a lot of people in Lehigh that wouldn't mind that because they have like a construction truck and they just need a piece of land, which is their lot that they can park their vehicle on. And they're okay with having a 2-bedroom, 2-bath home and have a payment that is under $2,000 a month. And a home that in the future, if they wanted to expand on the house, they can, but at least they have something they can call home that's available now, and it's concrete, it's not wood frame. And not necessarily put them in a position where, God forbid, if we have a week like last week, where whoever the breadwinner is can't go to work because construction stops when it's raining, and you're out of work for a week because it rained an entire week long. I had a customer until that application last week. He said, "You can talk to me this week because I'm sitting at home, not because I want to, but because I drive a concrete truck. And guess what? We can't pour concrete in the rain. So I'm off this whole week." Now, fortunately, he works for a large enough company that they pay him, even though he's not physically driving. But how many companies do that here? Not many. So again, these are just examples of people that are trying to buy a house, but they're living paycheck to paycheck, right? Especially ones who are helping with the down payment assistance, where we want to make sure we put them in something that they can really afford, not something where they can barely pay their bills on, right? So again, there's something we look at. So again, going back to the builders, this is a great opportunity. We co-brand and we send you some flyers. I think I showed you Talia some of those flyers. Let me see if I can pull one up and oh, I can't share my screen.
Oh, hold on, let me give you access. Okay, you should be able to share your screen.
All right. Hold on, let me just pull up a flyer here. And screen share. Okay, see it there. Let me just pull up a flyer. All right, is that sharing? Is it screen sharing right now?
I don't see anything.
No. Okay, let me go back to Zoom. Screen share. Boom. All right, can you guys see that now?
Yes.
Okay, so here's the hometown hero flyer that we would share, but if you see on the very bottom down here, let's just make this a little bigger, you see it'll have your contact information listed over there. And this is something that you can share on social media. I would definitely encourage you to do, even if it's a 15-second video, and just talk about it, post there's many apps out there that you can use. I use Filmora, but there's so many applications out there that are free that you can do like a quick image of yourself and then put the flyer in the background, or then go back and forth so it talks about the program. But you can do a post where you put this on here. We can actually do one where it actually talks about our other different types of down payment assistance program. But it's something that if you send me over your picture and your contact information, I'll finish getting all those up. Tilly, I'll get yours tonight. As soon as you get off this call, I'll send it over to you so that you have it. And you guys can start posting this and really advertising this. In addition, we have several pictures of different builders that we work with where you guys can actually utilize. Let me pull up my builder sheet here. You can use these pictures to promote on social media. These are all the builders I work with, so just so you can see. Can you guys see my screen where it says all the builders?
We're still in the flyer.
You're still on the flyer. Oh, it's because it only shows one thing. All right, can you see that now? So here are some pictures that. Can you see this picture?
Not open.
No, it's not open yet.
All right. It's because every time I open something, it it asks me to, I have to do another screen share.
Oh, you have to keep switching between windows.
And new screen share, boom. All right, can you guys see that now?
Yes.
So you could put a picture like this on your post and let people know new construction, you like what you see on here, reach out to me for more information. We can help you get into this house with very little money out of pocket, especially with the down payment assistance programs that are available now. And I have a lot of feedback where agents get people message them on social media based off of one picture in the background there, and they're like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. How can we get into that type of home? And so this is a Christopher Brown home. These are pictures that I've actually taken with a professional photographer, and I have the rights to these pictures, so I can send them to you guys and you can promote them. Don't mention the name of the builder because it could be this builder or any other builder you work with, but at least you basically attracted or got their attention so that they can start communication, line of communication with you as far as what they're looking to do and perhaps purchasing a new home. So I've seen some agents where they take a couple of these pictures, they put the first time home buyer, whether it's the hometown hero or other flyer on there, and they put that on there. And between those two, it really catches the consumer just kind of thinking on whether or not they should buy, their attention to reach out to you as an agent to start that first line of communication as far as, you know, reaching out and finding out, oh, how can I get into this? Can you tell me a little bit more? I have a client, a realtor spends about $100 a week on boosting Facebook ads like this, and he gets about 10 leads a week. That's a pretty good investment, $10 a lead. On material that's not even his, but we provide him the material, marketing material. So there's a number of things that we do that really help you guys out. Does anybody on this call have any listings that you're working on? Anybody of you guys any listings? Okay, so we also do provide marketing. If you guys do have listings, we got help you market your listings on social media as well. But if you don't have listings, we work with several builders that will allow you to sit and do an open house on some of their completed homes. So every weekend, you know, I ask our agents, our referral partners that we work with, what are you doing this weekend? And if they say, well, I don't have anything planned, that's not a good plan for a realtor. Every weekend you should have something that you have planned for, right? Whether it's an open house, some type of event that gets you some exposure out there, because at the end of the day, if you're not out there generating leads, you're missing opportunities, right? And if you don't have any leads of your own, we work with several agents and builders that every single builder that we've done open houses with, the property have sold, which is, I'm very glad to say, gives you as an agent a chance to have some exposure, learn a little more about the builder, but more importantly, generate leads, whether the walk-ins buy that property or not. I have a realtor, she sat in one of ours, she did a one open house in Cape Coral, and she was there for 4 hours, and she got 3 walk-ins, and all 3 of those people bought homes, not the house she was doing the open house in, but they bought homes with her on other properties. But because of the established relationship that she did with those walk-ins, it wasn't quite the location that they wanted to be in, but they ended up buying. So again, you know, that's a great story to tell and a great opportunity for that realtor to do. But if she didn't go out there and do an open house, she would have never had that opportunity. And those leads didn't cost her anything other than 4 hours of her time on a Saturday. You know? And then another realtor, she called me back and she had some customers that reached out to her from a post that she did at an open house from like a month ago on one of our builders, and they said, oh, we saw your post. And she's like, what post? It was from like a month ago, and they saw her post and they wanted to know more about that builder. So again, it definitely helps out, guys. It doesn't cost you any money other than your time to sit and do an open house, and it gives you that exposure to learn a little bit more about some builders, and more importantly, to get a chance to get in front of more buyers. So if you guys are interested in doing that, let me know. I can definitely, I have a schedule that I have going on with properties that are available, and I can put you guys on that list in order for you to do, you know, an open house, and then they'll put it on MLS so that they know that the properties, it's available for you. And then we do a flyer. a flyer for you. Let me actually pull one up here real quick so that you can see the marketing that we do for your flyers. So hold on one second. While I'm pulling this up, does anybody have any questions for me?
Do you guys have any questions?
No, I don't.
Quiet.
You do very good at explaining everything.
Well, thank you. All right, let me see if I can pull up a flyer here. We've done, we do a lot of marketing flyers here. So let me go ahead and pull this one up and screen share this one with you guys. My mouse will cooperate here.
Well, while you pulled that up, I just want to say, so Jeanette and I last week we went out to Lehigh and we actually previewed a couple of the Christopher Allen. And the 307, the one that I pulled up was one of them, which we both loved. We took some videos on it, and
Awesome.
we're gonna be promoting that as well. So, they're really good. I mean, I fell in love with the 307. I thought it was like perfect, cozy, perfect for maybe a first-time home buyer, somebody that's getting into just, home ownership or a small fam, or just, it's a very nice, cozy home and had beautiful finishes as well. So, thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, and again, 1,400 square feet is actually a nice sized home. We have some builders that they build a 4-bedroom house and it's 1,400 square feet. So this is a flyer sample of what we do. This is a particular house in Cape Coral. Can you guys see the flyer?
Yes.
So over here, we have the payment breakdown, whether it's conventional, FHA. We use your breakdown so they can see roughly what the monthly payment's gonna run them. So this is a nice flyer for you to have on the kitchen counter. So when you're doing an open house, you'll have your contact information. This is a realtor we work with over here. That allows this to be compliant in order for you to share that with whoever walks in. The nice thing about this flyer is that if you're doing the open house, there's a very good chance that they call you directly. Because they walked away with that flyer and it has your contact information, not necessarily the buyer's agent that they walked in with. So there's a lot of advantages and benefits of this. So we do this and we also do more information about the neighborhoods and demographics that we share as well. And we have a pretty cool sign-in sheet once you have your own listing that we can actually generate and do all this marketing material for. The nice thing about this is all this marketing flyers that we do, whether it's this or any of the other down payment assistance programs, we pick up the cost on that. Something that comes out of your pocket. Simply email me your picture and the contact information that you want to go over here. And then we'll generate the flyer for you so that you can start marketing them. And it's a matter of you sharing on social media. However complex and in-depth you want to do that on your end, I always encourage you to have your Facebook business page. If you don't have a Facebook business page, you should set it up. It's free. And anything and every time you market anything about real estate, you really should post it on your business page first and then share it to your personal page. That's how it's compliant, so that Facebook doesn't shut your Facebook page down. All right. A lot of people are doing stories because in 24 hours it goes away. And then Facebook doesn't give you any issues about that. But when it's like a post, it stays there and lingers forever. You want to make sure you post it on your business page first, and then you share it to your personal page. Because it's a real estate transaction, right? It's not anything to do with your family or your personal life. And therefore, it should be posted on your business page and then shared to your personal page. That makes sense?
Yes.
One of the top agents here in the county, Facebook would constantly shut our page down for 30 days at a time. And I kept explaining to her, it's because you're not posting it on your business page, you're posting it on your personal page. So make sure that you do it that way. Plus, when you put it on your business page, you can actually boost the post. For like $15, $20, you can get as many as 3,000 views on a post. That's a really good investment for you to be able to have that much exposure. And especially if you have a listing and you can show the seller, look, this is how many people saw my posting on your listing. I mean, you spend $35 when you go to lunch. And that gives you that exposure for, I think it's like 3 days. Like you give a budget and they allocate that and spread it over 3 days, and they give you an exposure between 3,000 to 3,500 impressions, which is pretty good. You know? All right. Any questions on these flyers? Again, even if you're doing an open house, we can generate these flyers so that you can have that the day that you're actually doing the open house. And some people print them out. Other people will save it as like a picture in their phone, and they say, well, if you like, I can text it to you. And that gives you an excuse to get their phone number. And you can stay in touch with them that way.
Is that your email right there?
This is my email, yeah, george.v@snmc.com. So send me an email on there and I will be able to get that out to you guys.
Awesome. Well, I think this is really good. I would love, I know you said you get those inventory sheets, right? Of the builders. Is it a weekly basis, a monthly basis, or how often do you get those inventory sheets?
I typically request them once a week. So once we get them, we can email out to you guys so that you have them. And depending on the builder, they'll have different incentives. Depending on, you know, what they have going on. For that week. Let me just pull this up over here. I'm gonna see if I can pull up the Christopher Allen inventory sheet, and so you guys can see screen share this one right here. All right, so if you see their inventory sheet right here, so it tells you co-broke 4% and $15,000 towards closing costs. And then it says ask for, you see the properties that are in red? But notice here, you see MLS, a lot of you don't have an MLS number, which means they're not on MLS, but they're still an inventory home. Like 4 houses here are supposed to be ready in the next month, and they're not even on MLS. So again, it gives you that advantage, especially other agents that are simply just looking at MLS and what's available out there. You have access to stuff that's not on MLS. And it's a great buy for certain individuals. Like everything here that's red, they'll knock off another $5,000 and give you that extra $5,000 towards flex cash. But as you look down here in Lehigh, here's the inventory for Lehigh. Notice that there are fewer homes available in Lehigh versus Cape Coral, and that's because Lehigh sells more than Cape Coral. There's a lot of inventory right now in Cape Coral, a lot. I think it's over 3,500 homes for sale in Cape Coral. Do you know what it is to sell a customer? There's over 3,500 homes that you can choose from. Not 34, not 300, 3,500 homes that you can choose from. Now, mind you, all different price points, but still, that's still a pretty scary number. You're gonna say something? Was it to the areas?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, this can, because you're mentioning some of these properties are not on the MLS. So I was just gonna say you can even market these properties as like you have a list of off-market new construction properties, and people love, especially investors and stuff, love the word off-market because it's
Yeah.
not on the MLS. So I don't know. I believe you can do that for this as well, correct?
Yeah, you can market them as as off MLS, or again, it's not available. If you don't have this list, you're not seeing these inventory sheets, right? You're not seeing what's on here. And as I mentioned, to all these other builders, don't even put them on there. D.R. Horton does the same thing. So believe it or not, as big as D.R. Horton is, they have a lot of houses that are available that are not even listed on the MLS. Now, about Christopher Allen Homes is super easy. All you fill out is a co-broke sheet, which is a one-page document with your information and the client's information. They put the whole contract together for you. So it makes it very easy for you. Everything is DocuSign. You don't have to worry about filling out anything. They do everything for you. Just in the email, you explain to them how you want, if it's one of these houses that are, red tagged, that you can ask them, I want $5,000 off the sales price and the $15,000 towards closing costs. As long as you specify that, they put the whole contract for you. The sales reps work 7 days a week. And if you're having trouble getting a hold of them, just reach out to me. They give you combination codes, so you don't have to have a Supra. They make it super easy for you to show these properties. And if you like one house, they have so many going on at the same time that you can go take a look at how one is gonna look like, because they don't actually have model homes. All right, so you can look at some of them are almost done, and you'll have an idea to see where they are price point wise. And I mean, if you have somebody who's looking at something really nice, like this was a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 3-car garage, and then it's for 509. This is on city water, and in the southwest, part of Cape Coral. And it's 509 for a 4-bedroom, 2,300 square foot home. This house has impact windows, granite. I mean, it's basically their high-end home, and everything that you can think of there, it has, other than a pool. But again, it gives you an idea as far as where that goes. But all right, so again, if you're interested in those flyers, I think the biggest thing right now that everybody is really focusing on is the down payment assistance, the hometown hero flyer, something we can put out to you so that you can start advertising that as soon as possible. And I would constantly put those posts out there so that people can see that, you know, as people are looking for this information about hometown hero and you have your name on a flyer, they're gonna reach out to you and they will try to contact you. Can you tell me more about this program? If you don't want to learn more about the program, you simply just say, hey, reach out to the loan officer. Here's George with Security National Mortgage. He'll be able to give you all the details that you know about the program. And this way you avoid, you know, putting your foot or saying something that doesn't necessarily apply to the program. And we can also educate them on several other programs that are available to them, whichever one they're going to want to use. They know that they can still count on that money to buy. You know, some people will say, well, I have a 620 credit score. Can I qualify for that? You know, if the 620 credit score qualifies for it.
No.
It's not 640?
Yes, that is correct. It used to be a 640. However, with our program, you can go as low as a 580.
Wow.
Wow.
Super aggressive, which is a big difference. So even if they didn't qualify for that one, we have other programs that we can put them in that will still give them the 5% down towards their down payment and or closing cost. And you're not disqualifying people, right? If you work with a lender and all they have is the hometown hero program and they have a 639 credit score, they're not qualifying for it. And then what? They think, okay, well, I'll just have to wait till my score gets higher. Well, we can provide a solution and let them know what they need to do to bring up the score by about a point for free. And we can also show them the other programs that are available. So in the event that they can't get their score up, we can still help them with another type of down payment assistance program. All right. So don't disqualify a client just because they don't think they meet all the criteria is necessary, right?
Yeah.
Just was it last Friday? I had a client, she said, I'll have a 580 credit score. We pulled it and it was a 660 score. I'm like, where did you get that credit for? Oh, I don't know, one of these apps that I have on my phone. I'm like, okay. Well, you know, we don't just go off of Credit Karma or whatever app they have. We actually pull our own scores and their soft pull, so it doesn't affect their credit. So again, don't disqualify a client without having them talk to whether it's me or any other lender for that matter, so that they give them a chance to really see if they meet all the criteria needed.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, when in doubt, just, raise your hand and reach out to you, because I think that, you know, we don't want to disqualify, right? We want to find creative ways to get these people, in and, on the path to home ownership. So if there's any questions at all, obviously reach out to George, right? Ask the questions. And if you can, George, I guess, do you want me to share your information? Like, how do you want?
Absolutely, yeah, my information, I put it back on the screen so you can see there, 895-7766. You can reach me 7 days a week at that number. I can meet with your client even if it's on the weekend, like we did with Talia last week. And more importantly, having access to somebody, it's now 7:15 and I'm still working. I actually probably have another 2 hours worth of work, so I'll still be in front of my computer for the next 2 hours or so. I don't necessarily have a clock out time, and I do start around 8:30 in the morning every morning. So that if you are available, and I also have agents, if you're working, I'm working. I have an agent, he's the #1 agent in Lehigh, right? I think I told you about him, right, Liam? His name is David Mulligan. Last year, he did $18.4 million in sales in Lehigh. Pretty solid number, right? Considering last year was a pretty difficult year, right? This year he's already done 12 million and we're only halfway through the year. And he doesn't even speak Spanish. And I say that because Lehigh is a market that really has a lot of Spanish speaking individuals living there. He's since hired a bilingual assistant. But I help him out a lot with translations if needed, just because he doesn't want to lose a client over not being able to speak the language. But this is a realtor who's been an agent for 4 years now. He started right around COVID. And he's partnered up with us and we've helped him get to being the #1 agent in Lehigh. Now, I'm gonna let you know, he's very dedicated to his job. He does work 7 days a week and there's times he's texting me and emailing me or calling me at 11 or 12 o'clock at night, because that's when he has some time to reach out to me. And I always tell him, if you're working, I'm working. If you have a question, you're trying to put a deal together. Over the weekend, he signed 2 contracts. And he's consistent. He has, last week he put in 8 new listings. There's a lot of people right now that are trying to sell their homes. And in this market where we're not sure what's going to happen with the buyers, agents, commissions, you're seeing more and more agents try to get listings because they can securitize their listing compensation. Now I don't, just to really touch on that, I don't know that they're gonna get rid of the buyer's agents commissions. But I will tell you, I already have several agents that are making sure that whatever client they start showing houses with, they have them sign the buyer's broker agreement. Right? I have one agent specifically, he has it right now that the buyers that pay him 3%. And so far he's written probably about 3 contracts where the seller's only paying 2.5. So guess who's paying the extra half?
The buyer.
The buyer is. And they're not complaining about it because they agree that he has that uncomfortable conversation up front with them. And then he goes and shows them houses. All right, now mind you, these people are buying Cape Coral, these contracts that we've seen, and these are people buying $600,000 to $900,000 homes. So it's a different demographic, right? People that need help with down payment assistance can't afford to pay an extra 0.5 point on your commission. Nor can you use the down payment assistance to pay your agent his commission. So I just want to make sure that I have realtors ask me about that. Can they use that money? And the answer is no, you can't. All right.
All right, George. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to share this information. Does anybody have any questions? Jeanette, Jessica, or Maricel?
No.
No?
I'm good. I'll be emailing you my pictures and stuff to get some of these.
Sounds good. So yeah, for the down payment assistance program, we'll send you a couple different ones. We'll send you at least the hometown hero and our other in-house down payment assistance program that goes as low as a 580, so that you can start marketing those both. And Tilly, I'll get yours out this evening. I'm pretty sure it was just done. Just a compliance department thing, just had to review the verbiage on there, but I'll get those out to you tonight. Okay.
Sounds like a plan. Well, thank you so very much for all of this. We're super excited to start promoting this. It's incredible.
Yes, absolutely. Definitely a good chance for people to get into their home with very little money out of pocket, if any.
Yeah, very true. Well, I hope you have a good night. And if anybody have any questions out after the Zoom, there's George's number. Oh, he just took it off the screen. But we know it's okay. Reach
I
out to
already
me.
wrote it down.
Perfect. If you guys, need it, I have it. I can send it to you guys as well. But I hope everybody has a good night and let's make some money. Take care, guys.
Take care.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.